engaging with the art, reminding people that there's over 70 plus pieces of outdoor public artworks to discover. And there's an audio component and there's an AR component. And we really just want to encourage people to go out and check out what's literally on pretty much every street corner in our city.
Yeah, Art Walks is a great thing. It's a great thing for people to do. And also all these things are free.
Free, yeah.
So, yeah.
There's no reason not to do it.
Right.
One of my favorite pieces is Glen, which is just outside of the CBC building. And I was lucky enough to meet the artist, Ruth Abernethy, who did the piece, the bronze sculpture. And the story that she told about her experience creating it, it was just so fascinating. I think people sometimes forget that there's real people. There's artists behind these pieces, and there's stories behind them. And I think what is so cool about Art Walk is if you go on to the website, you can learn about the whole history, what it's made out of, the story behind it, the artist, when it was made, the material that it was made from, and then there's the audio component too. So you can literally go around the city with your phone and experience this, as you said, for free.
Yeah, it's a great thing. And when you were talking about Ruth's work, you made me think about Tanis Nielsen, who's an Indigenous artist who has a set of murals that she did about Indigenous stories and leaders that I walk past almost every day when I go to work. It's just under the overpass or the underpass of Lower Simcoe Street.
Right.
And those are some beautiful public murals that people can look at that are also important because they remind us that Toronto is built on Indigenous lands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
It's important to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I have to ask, kind of switching to devil's advocate question, understanding all of these incredible benefits of having public art, but certainly our city is quite strapped for cash right now, and there's so many priorities. Why is it important that we continue to fund the arts and public art?
Well, I think some of it we've talked about already in terms of like social cohesion and the benefits of an engaged public and a vibrant city. I really love what Mayor Chow said at our Mayor's Evening for the Arts this past year. She said the arts are the soul of our city, and that is so true. And I think also what is true is that if you want that soul of the city to be strong, you have to invest in it. So having that public investment is so important for the city to realize that there are economic benefits, there are tourism benefits that come from people wanting to come to the city, wanting to see what's here, to walk around, to experience all that public art, that there are also knockoff benefits for businesses. And, but beyond that, really, I think it is how people can identify with the city as a place that represents them, as a place that reflects them, and that has a creativity that I think we all have inside us.
Yeah. I think it helps also foster a sense of pride in our community, right? And being Torontonian and having all of this beautiful art around us is special, and it makes us proud to be living here. When you take a look at other cities that are quite well known for investing and really prioritizing public art, like Miami and Berlin and Montreal, even here in Canada, what do you think that they've done that we haven't quite mastered yet, or what can we do to maybe get there a little bit closer to that and really prioritizing art?
Well, a couple of things that come to mind for me immediately is, I remember Montreal. I remember going to Montreal when I was a student in my, early 20s, and something that I was so impressed by and I still think about is the way that city was so often like closing off streets so that there could be, like the Montreal Jazz Festival or other festivals. And they literally would close the streets and people would flood into the streets and experience live music. And that ability for a city to make space for these big events, for these cultural events to happen and for people to experience that, I think is something that's really important. Toronto has done some of that. I think about Nuit Blanche in Toronto, which is a great experience for the public. I think we could do more to make those spaces accessible and to facilitate big events like that.